How about now? I testing. One. There we go. Ah, can you hear me now? JKM. Everything I had wrong. Everything was set up right. I just forgot to unmute myself over here on the main uh, restream here. That's probably why I haven't been doing this for a good while, and I should do it more often. And hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm just going to wait here. All right. I'm going to do something here real quick because my lighting is just so bad right here. So let me make a quick adjustment to the camera. Let's see here. There we go. That's better. Yeah, much better. I like that. You can see me much clearer. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here for this camera. Make a little adjustment. Here we go. Okay. All right. Hopefully you can hear me all right for those of you who are watching live. And I'm coming live on YouTube. I'm doing live on Facebook and live on Twitter. In fact, let me just kind of hop on here to see if everything's okay on the Twitter here. In the Twitterverse. There we go. Okay, come on, Twitter. We want to log in. Okay, I'm going to do this on my phone because let's see here. Okay, come on, Twitter. Perfect. All right, I can hear myself on Twitter and on Facebook as well. So you can catch me on all those three. Okay, I think I got all the hiccups out of the way, so we can go ahead and get into the Q&A session. And what I thought I would do for the Q&A is I get questions often on YouTube as well as on Twitter, following up on things that I work on in my YouTube channel. I'll release a video and let me mute this over here. I'll release a video on Twitter and Twitter on YouTube, and folks will comment, and I'll go in and answer the questions. But I think would have been cool, I thought, was to hop on here and answer those questions live. So if you are one of those who asked a question on my YouTube channel, following up on videos, I'm going to answer some of those questions now and demonstrate. I'll still answer them on YouTube. I'll go back in and type in an answer, but I thought it would be cool just to hop on and use those as a, I would say, kind of a jumping point to answering questions. So that's kind of how I'll start this session for Q&A. So let me go through the stream here. In fact, let's go ahead and let's bring in, let's do this here. I'm going to minimize that, and we'll just do this here, and I'll show you YouTube here, and we'll look at the questions together. So what I'll do is hop on here, and let's go to comments. And the way I have set up YouTube also is I have some of my comments supposed to hold some for review. Every once in a while you get some interesting questions or responses. So here we go. But first off, really thank you to Joshua. Appreciates the short to the point tutorials. I try to keep those short as possible, so that way, you know, I try not to drag it on. Kind of like I'm dragging on right now, but this is live, it's a little bit different. And so got helped out a lot. The videos, Instagram Reels with Adobe Rush, cool. Thank you. I was trying to figure this out about for about an hour, and you saved me. Cool. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you for that comment. Appreciate it. And I actually responded to some of these as I get further down. You'll see I haven't had an opportunity. I've been just swamped. Very informative. Never thought of creating PDFs in Adobe Spark. Does it? So this one right here, this was great. How to download and add fonts in Adobe Spark Post. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So, and I did respond there. Now you can add, I'm looking at the other camera. You can actually add fonts in Adobe Spark several ways. You can have the actual font file if you have licensed it yourself. If you would say you can purchase fonts and you could purchase a license for a font. I did that several years back. I like this font called Industry Ink. I think that's what it's called. And I just like the style of the font. And I wanted to use it for my website. I wanted to use it all over my content, my stuff that I brand on social media, any type of graphics and like business card. So I wanted permission to use that font. So I actually paid and licensed that font for the web and for print. So in essence, I would say I own it. I guess I own a copy of it. I paid to license it. So I can actually bring it in here. I'm going to show you how I did that. I went over here to brands. And within your brands, you can add fonts. And so let me click on my brand here. As you can see, here is my brand fonts. So you're able to have like a main heading font, which is Industry Ink base is what I'm using. And then like a body font, which is Century Gothic. I like using those too. And then here at the bottom, you can add more fonts. If I click on here, more fonts, add more fonts to use across your projects. So if I want to use several of these, so some of these I've uploaded again as I purchased. And then Adobe Spark has some tips on pairing fonts to make sure that you use appropriate fonts. While I'm doing this, I'm going to open up a window up here just to see if there's any questions on Facebook. So give me a second to load that. I get completely distracted. I know. Here we go. Let's pull here. All right, cool. So I've got this one here just in case somebody is asking a question. I try to, because I don't have like my own, company doing this. Like I actually have my own company, but I don't have employees. I'm actually a one-man show, so I've kind of multitask here. All right. So here is how you can add fonts to your brand. Now, within a project, you can also add fonts. So let me go back here to home. And let's go ahead and let's just start from scratch here. Let's do an Instagram post. Hey, Joshua Josue. I'm going to make sure I say your name out. Joshua. Yes, Joshua. I guess there's no H there, so hopefully I'm saying it right. Sorry, I didn't mean to butcher your name there. Yes, Adobe Spark has a ton. I use it almost daily, every day. Almost daily. Does that even make sense? All right. So let's go ahead and bring in a photo. I'm just going to go to a free photo, Creative Commons photo, and let's do sunset. This one looks nice. I like this. By the way, when you're using these, you have full rights to use these. These are Creative Commons. The only thing you can't do is turn around and sell. Like, let's say I create a graphic. You can create something for a client, but let's say I was like, ooh, I create a cool poster and I want to turn around and sell it. That is, you can't do that because you don't have rights to that. You can have rights to use it and share, but not to like make money off of it. Anyways, so here we go. Getting back to text. So here's text. Add your text. Let's see. Sun sets. Let's see. Don't let the sun. Here we go. Don't let the sun go down on you. Don't let the sun go down on your dreams. There we go. I take a little creative liberty there with someone. I'm not going to say his name because maybe I don't have permission to use the name or even the song. So I'll just say, I think Most everybody knows who I'm talking about. We'll keep it at that. Don't let the sun go down on your dreams. I hope I spelled that correctly. And here we go. So here it is. Don't let the sun go down on your dreams. So here's the font. Again, as I mentioned, this is my brand font. It's one that I enjoy using. And the question again, let's go back to the question, Dion. How do I download and add fonts? Well, I kind of showed how to do that in your brand. So I would again download, purchase it, and then here's where you can add them. So right here where the font is, you have all these different fonts. And some of these are the ones that come with Adobe Spark. So you have all these right here, except for these at the top. Those are ones I imported. If you see right here, it says I am Claudius. That's my brand. And these are fonts that I've added to my brand. This is like a Star Wars style font that I purchased. Some other ones that I purchased myself. And right here it says add your fonts. So if I click here to add your fonts, here you would have to go search for the fonts on your computer. Again, you have to have the file. So it would be a TTF font, true type font. And I think the OTF, I think it stands for optimized top type font, open type font. That's what it is. I don't have any on this computer. It's actually my wife's computer that I'm using, but just want to show you. Basically, you would just click on the font and open. And what you would get is you would get a little message that says, hey, you want to add this font to your sets of brand fonts. Do you have permission to use it? Do you have full license? So it's going to ask you. And it's basically on your honesty there to say, yeah, I purchased it. Like I mentioned, I do purchase these fonts that I want to use, excuse me. And so I recommend if you're going to be doing stuff like that, I would pay for the font. There's people that are creators that are selling that. So I totally recommend supporting, your fellow creative. So that's what you can do that. So that's to upload a font. Now, if you have Adobe Spark Premium, I'm going to show you here down underneath more. See where it says more. These are ones that I have added. Let me back up. These are fonts that come with Adobe Spark already. Everybody has access to these. Excuse me. And then here it says Adobe fonts. So I've actually gone in and activated these fonts in my Adobe Creative Cloud account. So if you have an Adobe Creative account, you actually have access. Let me back up. You can have Adobe Creative Cloud account. So you have access to Premiere, Rush, Pro, Photoshop, Lightroom, and Spark. It's all packaged together. You can purchase that package. Let's say you just say, I just want to subscribe to Adobe Spark. You will have access. The premium version gives you access to thousands and thousands of fonts. And basically here at the very bottom, I'm going to scroll down and it says browse Adobe fonts. And it says, we're going to open a tab for you. Take me to Adobe fonts. And so let's go to Adobe fonts. Here it is. And so it has my last project that I was working in Adobe fonts. I was looking for a font for a project I was doing at work, looking for kind of a collegiate style font. So that was the sample text. So let's see, font sample. So you can type in kind of a sample text. So you can see how the font will look like. And again, there's tons of them. So right now there's 2,504 font families. So you can narrow down. Let's say you're looking for kind of a futuristic style font. You can go here like, oh, cool. I like this one. Nasalization. Nasalization. Interesting. So I click here, view family. I'll click here. When it says view family, basically it can have multiple versions of that font. So italicize, bold, regular, condense. Some of them will have a ton of extras. Some of them will just have one. Like this one just has this one. And then you'll see the quick brown jumps over. That's kind of the sample text. And basically what I'll do here, you can activate the whole family or you can activate pieces of the family. I like doing the whole family. So this one just has one there. But whenever I look for a font, I just activate the whole family so I have access to all. And there's no limit. You can use them all. I have not run out. So let me go back over here to Spark. And what was the name of that? Nasalization. That's interesting. Nasalization. I guess it was nationalization. Anyways, um, so let me scroll down and we should see nasalization. There it is. Boom. Now this font doesn't look great with this graphic because it's kind of, serene, but you get the idea. This is how I would add font. So Dion, hopefully you get to watch this in replay. And this is how you can add additional fonts to um, Adobe Spark. So let's see, what else do we have here? Um, Thanks, my dude. Awesome. Once again, love it. Love it. Thank you. Hopefully I won't see any inappropriate stuff. With Rush, I'm new to video editing. Your videos are super helpful. Thank you. Awesome. So grateful, Shireen. Okay, this one I did want to answer. This is from Two Step Films. I can't see the 3 points on the side graphic. Do you know why? I use Motion Array too. So recently I did a YouTube video on importing Motion Array templates into Adobe Rush, which was great. I didn't realize you can do that until most recently, and I've been totally taking advantage of the free ones that are there. I ended up subscribing to Motion Array because I have access to Rush templates and Adobe Premiere templates and DaVinci Resolve, After Effects templates. So it just makes your job a lot easier. You can finish projects faster. So check out Motion Array. I'm not getting sponsored to say that. So this personally, I pay for it. I think it's great. So to answer the question is looking at the 3 dots. Now, I don't have a Motion Array file here. So let's quickly go to Motion Array and hopefully I can log in because I'm using my Google account here. So I should remember my account. Yeah. Awesome. There it is. So we go to presets, templates right here, and Premiere Rush. And these are great. And so let's go ahead. This ripped paper low. I'm just going to download that. There's a ton of these. They're great. They're on social media that you can use. YouTube videos. Definitely, I highly recommend. I wish I had like a, what do you call those? An affiliate link, but they don't have one. I even looked. Because I like to share stuff, and it always helps out to get kind of like I would say, hey, thank you for supporting our Motion Array. Here's like a couple of bucks to help. So it's just one of those things. I share affiliate links, and really what it does is just supports the work I do, the channel, and I can buy gear and do more. Anyways, so here I downloaded the Motion Array template. So now let's show you. You should now be seeing Rush, and it looks kind of weird here. I don't know why. Okay, let me do this. Let me quit it, and let me start it again. And hopefully, my wife's computer is the MacBook. It has the M1 chip. It's so fast. I love it. Okay, here we go. We're going to let's use something I already have. Here we go. No, these are all in the cloud. I don't know if it'll download fast enough. We'll see. Let's try this gateway drone one. Nope, not there. All right, we're gonna create a new project. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna use these sample videos here. So we've got, these are sample ones that Adobe Rush has that you can use to kind of practice and learn. I'm just gonna bring all these in. There's also a soundtrack. So let's hit create. Basically, I want to show you again the 3 dots. So 2-step, this is for you here. So here, usually what I'll do is use a graphic. So we're going to come up here to the top right. There's a T, which stands for a text, which also has graphics. So here's add graphic. Now right here is the more options. So 2-step, I think, check it out. Right here's where you can see that on the desktop. So let me show you. It says install template. Now here's the weird thing where you're doing this. It took me like several tries because I kept looking for it and not finding it. So here it is. Let's try. So I wish you can just like select them all, but it won't. You have to import one at a time. So here we go. Ripped paper, third one. And I'm going to bring it in. And I can keep doing that install template and go to the second one. See, and I wish it would just save. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to do those two. Now, if I click on add graphic, and then I do browse all and go to saved, and there should be, there it is, ripped paper. So if I click here and then add it, it's going to bring that, boom, right there. Let's skip that tour. So if I hit play, there's that ripped paper here. Let me close that, make it a little larger for you to see. And boom. Now it says ripped paper because it's ripped paper, but you can edit that out. The cool thing is about these is you can trim that and it fades in and it fades out. Most, if it has that effect, it'll do it. So it's really neat. So if I extend it, it knows it'll fade out, or I should say buzz out there, which is amazing. So cool that that's already built into it. And then I can just go in here and go to the T, and it says ripped paper, and I click it, Seaside Fun. And then here it says lower thirds, just click there. I have no idea where this is, so I'm going to guess it's Hawaii. Hawaii. I think I spelled that right. There we go. And just like that, I brought in the template from Motion Array. So this is where those three dots, two-step right here. It's almost like hard to see, but hidden. Now on the mobile phone, you can't import them on a mobile phone. So if you're trying to do it on a mobile phone, and I don't know, maybe you were trying on a mobile phone, you can't. And in fact, let me go just to be sure. I'm opening up my phone here, and let's see. Give me a second to do a little water break. All right, here. Okay, let's open up the same project here. Apologies. And graphic. And graphic, yeah. So on the mobile phone, two-step, that maybe you were trying on a mobile phone. I'm not sure, but you can't do that on the phone. You'll have to bring it in on the desktop version. But after you do that, you can actually access it on the phone because it saves it to the cloud. All right. So two-step films. I hope that helps. And I'll answer it eventually here as well. These are these weird ones I get there. Claudio, you totally rock. Awesome. Thank you. How to make video portrait. So this took me a while to try to figure out. So this is using Adobe Spark Video. Okay. I think I know how to make a video portrait with Spark Video. So got some good news and bad news. The good news is you can create the video. Bad news is there's not a portrait size. I totally wish there was, because we're creating the content to share mainly on social. Let me just start from scratch. So this is Spark Video, and in Spark Video, you can create presentation type videos, but really it's pretty powerful. What you see is what you get type of interface. Stuff is there. You click a video, click on it. You can add video, photo, text, icons. It's a very rudimentary video editor. Can't do layering and things like that. That's when you want to jump up to Rush. Sorry guys, my allergies. But you can do that in Rush, but not here. However, very, very powerful what you can do in Spark Video here. And I think I know what, let me go back to Dr. Cluck. I think I know what you were asking about portraits in right here, because I recall. So when you click on resize, you're given the option to do widescreen and square. So widescreen, Twitter, Facebook, even Instagram, LinkedIn, and then you have square, which again, pretty much all of them. But if you want that vertical portrait size, it doesn't have it. I totally wish it would. I know it's been something that's been requested, but I think because there's Rush with Adobe Spark Post, you can do that. You know, if they put it here, I would think a lot more people would use it, but unfortunately, you're only given those two options. Now, you can probably hack it. Dr. Cluck, D Cluck, I think that was your call name there. If you go to square format, you can probably tweak the video and just kind of keep everything in the center and then maybe use some other app to crop it. I know it's not the best. You want to do everything here, but that's kind of like my workaround that I would suggest. So I wish I could have a better answer for you there, but hey, I got a little donation there. Cool. Julie Scott, thank you so much. Since I watched your tutorials 2 days ago, I've been creating folders, saving projects into them, cleaning up your projects area in Spark. Yes, I know. This is what she's talking about here. Let me go to Spark and go to my projects. Is this something I try to do periodically? As you see, I have all these folders and I'll save like reels that I create in here. I'll drop them into this folder. The only, I would say, thing that I wish that it would work like on a mobile phone for Adobe Spark, there's no folders in there. So if you create a folder here on the web version, it doesn't replicate on the phone. So finding a project on your phone kind of takes a little bit more time to go through. You kind of have to scroll through like that to look for them. So that's why whenever I create a project, I try to name it. If not, I'll delete it right away. But afterwards, I'll go through here and just start deleting things. Like right here, I'll just go ahead and delete that to get rid of it. And then I'll grab something. I'll grab this and then move it to one of those folders. So going back to the question from Julie, I found we have a PNG of our logo on a previously created graphic. I'd like to save it in the logo folder now that I know it exists. The trouble is I don't know how to copy or save an element out of existing graphic. I know how to duplicate, but that doesn't help. So, Julie, I hope I can answer your question here. So I've actually, let me do this and hopefully that answers your question. Because there's times when I create a logo and in fact, I did it for a work project. There was this logo right here, which was a collegiate logo, but the only version I had was this right here, which was a JPEG with a white background. And what I did is I went in. So this actually, let me change the color of the background here. Let me just use that. I actually went in here and did like remove background so that I can have it without the background. Julie, that's kind of what I would do. I would download like import it and then do remove the background, export it as a transparent PNG, and then bring it in, and then you can drop it into the folders. I see like this right here. This is one of my logos. And I even though I already have it filed away, for some reason the file was corrupted whenever I tried to use it in Rush. So I was like, okay, let me quickly. What I did, I just went to my logos, I dropped it in here, and then I downloaded as a transparent JPEG, PNG. And then what I can do, Julie, is I can go ahead and grab that and then drop it into the logos folder. So let me go down here and find it and go here and move it. And I think you're saying you created a logos folder. So hopefully, Julie, that answers your question. I hope so. That's kind of my workaround, the duplicate and then remove background. So if not, you can always reach back out to me. All right, Andres. I hope it's Andres or Andre. Oh goodness, here. Looking at camera videos on YouTube and stumbled upon your channel. My wife says you look exactly like her favorite teacher in 4th and 5th grade. Oh goodness, Andres. I actually haven't read this yet. This is a random comment, and my apologies if she's mistaken, but laugh out loud. I thought it's harm. Okay, well, this is really cool because I actually did teach in San Diego, 4th and 5th grade, 2004, 2005. I actually moved from San Diego to Texas in 2006. So, Andres, I would love to know who your wife is. Now, you don't have to, if you're not on here, it's cool. But I'm actually going to reply to this right now because it's I've been teaching for 20. I've been in education for 25 plus years, and to actually get emails or messages from from former students, I shouldn't say older students, I'm older, and actually to get emails or messages like this, it's really cool. So I'm actually going to respond to Andres. So, Andres, yes, I used to teach in San Diego. um, I'm a teacher and I don't know how to spell. Yes, I used to teach in San Diego in 2004, 2005. Please let your wife know. I would be interested to know if she is a former student. Best to you. That is pretty cool. I tried to read the comments more often, but I've just been swamped. So that's pretty cool. You guys get to see that. It's pretty neat. Hopefully I get a response there. Okay, Grinstaff09. Okay, let me look what time it is. Okay, cool. I'm got good on time. I'm gonna try to stick around for a little bit longer. I am on the PC version, not on the phone. I created a new project, but can't find an option to select webcam. Any further tips? Thank you. And this is recording made easy in Rush. So in Adobe Rush, Adobe Rush is a video editing software. It's available for Macs, Windows. You can download it into an Android device, iPhone, iPad. The only device you can't use it on is a Chromebook. It doesn't work. Chromebooks don't really have a traditional hard drive, so it can't process. Needs a ton of processing power. But on the iPhone and Android versions in Rush, you can actually launch the camera and record within the app on the device. Now, on the computer, there isn't an option to do that. So if you click here and let's go plus sign, see, there's no camera option here. On the phone, when you do that, you are able to add a photo, or you can add a photo straight from the camera, like actually opens the camera app within there, take a picture and drops it into your project. You can do the same with video. So on the computer though, however, there isn't that option. It would be awesome. The reason being, I probably would not want to do that with the computer because most webcams 1080p, some are great, some are not. There may be a little bit of lag. So I would recommend taking the video with like your phone in 4K 1080 at the least, or with a camera 4K 1080 at the least. Whenever you bring it in, you're always going to compress it down to share on social. So unfortunately, who was that here? Grinstaff. So I wish there was a way, but there's. Okay, Julie. Julie's got another question here. Very helpful. Do you have one? I do have one more question. Absolutely. That's so basic, but no. I don't think questions are ever so basic, because they may be basic for you, but not for others. So, anyways, always ask questions. All right, you didn't cover. Under edit, text, effects, shape, I've inserted the conversation bubble. However, I need to flip it so the pointy part that goes to a person's mouth is headed in another direction. How do I flip? Perfect. I can answer this question. So in Adobe Spark, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this right here. This is my little selfie here, a little meme that I created. So right here, this is an icon. So I'm going to click on replace. There's speech bubble. So let's go ahead and replace it. So here's this speech bubble. And you notice how the little arrow is pointing the opposite direction. Now let me click out here. When you click on the icon of the speech bubble, you're given edit icon over here. So down here, it's almost like, hey, that's where it's at. You'll see flip horizontally, and it has a picture of two triangles kind of going the opposite direction. flip horizontally, and there it is. So now the little speech bubble thingy, I don't know what that's called. I know it's a speech bubble, the little tail, speech bubble tail. We'll do that. So that's how you do that. Flip it right here. Flip horizontally, flip vertically. That was the easy. That was, I'm going to say, not a basic, I guess it's not a basic question. It's not always easy to see those things there. And honestly, it took me a while to find it. So that is a great question. Thank you, Julie. Luna, Wild Draft, thanks. You're a lifesaver. You are so welcome. I've never been called a lifesaver, but thank you. Hey, Endo Mamiko. Hope I said that right. Hi, I cannot find how to directly export IG Reels from Rush. If it will only give me story or feed as options, what do I do to save quality and direct post to Reels? So this is something I created in Adobe Rush. And this is, I believe, I'm going to go ahead and open that video in a new tab so you can see. Let's see the video here. And my videos are monetized, so that's why these little commercials pop up. So let's see. Okay, so let's see here. So on the desktop version of Rush, you can export the video. Whoop, get back. You can export the video, and you have whoop. So okay, here we go. We can do it here. Here's Rush. I went back here, and there's this little change sequence aspect ratio. So let's say I go here because he wanted to. I think he said he or she. Say, let's see. Export directly. See, give me option story or feed. Export Reels. I want to give you either story or feed as options. What do I do? Quality, direct post reel. So, okay, so on the mobile version of Rush, you actually have the option to export. So here on the desktop version, there's Instagram here. You have advanced settings. You're basically, it's going to export based on the aspect ratio here. So this is going to be the 9:16, which you can use for Reels and stories. You can't directly post to Instagram from here. On a mobile version, however, you are given that option whenever you are ready to share a project. You hit export. Oh, hold on. Let me go find one that let's try this one. If I hit export and it goes through the process of exporting, it's going to say, where do you want to share? In fact, let me hit cancel. Export to Instagram. Share this video on social. There we go. So basically, when you're exporting, it's going to save your video to your camera roll, and then you can upload it to Instagram as a reel or as a story. Doesn't give you the option directly to share it to Instagram. Adobe Spark Post, the app on the mobile phone, gives you the option to export directly to either story or feed, but not like a reel. If you want to export something to use for reels, I would export it, save it to. In fact, that's like here's. I'll show you. It may not be. So you got story. Here we go, story and feed. So you have those two options. So if I hit feed, turn that down. It doesn't give me the option to save it as a reel. So what I would do is just go to it's already saved to my camera roll. So I would just go to Instagram and then I would say upload it from my camera roll. So that's how I would do the reels. So that was from Endo. So I hope that answers your question. Gustavo, congratulations for a great video. Love your videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sterling Winkler. It's a cool last name. I think of a famous actor from Happy Days. Is it possible to adjust the arch in the curve in curve text? So that's a great question. So in Adobe Spark, here I'm back in Adobe Spark, and when you have text, you have the option to, I would say it's called magic text. So right here, You can align left, align center, align right, and then you have here curved grid and magic alignments. So you have curved circle, semicircle, and inverted semicircle. So if I hit circle, I can create the text and make it go around in a circle. Unfortunately, you can't adjust the curvature. So, for example, see this speech bubble? See how it's the speech bubble is not a perfect circle; it's kind of ovalish. So you can't. It would be cool to be able to kind of move this and make your curved text match that ovalness of the speech bubble, but it doesn't. I wish it would, but unfortunately in Spark it doesn't have it. So that's kind of where you kind of reach the maybe the limit on Spark with curved text, and then that's when you would have to jump over to some tool like either Photoshop, Illustrator, most likely because Illustrator is a great vector tool, or line art tool. InDesign, you could probably do it if you're creating like magazines and things like that. So I would try those out. But unfortunately, here you're limited to that. So this is a great question there. Let's see, who was that? Sterling, great question. Hey man, there isn't reversing video in Adobe Rush. Yeah, Adobe Rush doesn't have the option. You can speed up and slow down video. You can mirror the video, meaning that, for example, if I take a video, like I don't know if like you can see my SD showing up correctly here, but sometimes when you take a picture, it's inverted or flipped like a mirror image, and that's like one of my not pet peeve, but it's like one of the things that bugs me when I watch people's videos and they're like, hey, look at my shirt. It says creative, but when they take their video with their phone selfie and they post it, it's not creative, it's backwards. And I was like, man, not everyone has someone to take your video, but I would use a tool like Rush and flip that video and then I would share it. Because then it's like, I can't read backwards. So sorry. But so I had already answered that there. I just want to know, this is from Dark Lightning. I just want to know let me start again. I'm just having a hard time reading. I just want to know how to do the freeze frame and still have a hard time figuring out. Can someone please help me? Okay, so auto, reframe, and zoom. Okay, how do you do freeze frame? So I'm not sure the question. So because the video was in reference to auto, reframe. So whenever you have a video, so let's do this right here. Let's go back to edit this video, and I'm going back to actually I can do it here. So we're looking at these folks right here, and how it's cutting them off, and that's just because the video was taken landscape, so they're both there. But when I do this, I can only see him or her. So let's say I wanted to focus on one or the other. Let me delete that there. And then like right here, I can't see like the front of the boat. I'm only seeing part of it. And then here, I have to choose one of the two. So this is where the reframe comes in. So if you go over here to, let's see, effects right here, I believe it's effects. And then if you choose auto reframe, see how Rush just uses Adobe Sensei, which is their artificial intelligence. So if I hit play here and see how it's zoomed down here, and then for her, it kind of just auto reframes on her face because that's when she's talking. So let me show you how it looks like unauto reframed. Let's try it. Let's take off the So now if I hit play, he's talking. And then see how she's out of the picture there? She's not centered. So that's where the auto reframe comes in. And this is amazing that Sensei can kind of capture that. And then it auto reframes her like center. That's freaking amazing. That's pretty cool. And then right here, I don't know what it'll reframe on. But if you don't like see, now it's on the center of the boat as you're going. Same thing here. Let's try a reframe, see what it does. And because they're both kind of talking, he's talking. So yeah, it kind of goes from her to him. So it auto reframes, but then you can also always adjust the reframe. So let's say you just want the frame on her and apply. So that little clip will just be on her mainly. So, but unfortunately, the freeze frame, I'm wondering if you wanted just one frame from here and freeze it. You can't do that in Rush. So what I would do is on a Mac, I think it's Control Alt 4 or Shift Command 4. Let's see. Yeah, Shift Command 4 lets you take a screenshot. So if I wanted to freeze frame this, and then I can just bring in that clip right here, and I've frozen that. So I hope that's what you were thinking there, Dark Lightning. So I hope that helps. All right, folks, I got about 6 more minutes. I'm going to kind of call it an evening here. It's getting close to dinner time. But this has been fun. I've been enjoying it. I thought this would be a cool way to kind of reach out to all of you there who are subscribers and following me here and watch my videos. Again, super appreciative of all of you who have left comments here, the kind words you've all said, and a few individuals who've actually donated some money there. Really cool. Thank you. And someone said it's not a lot, but you know what? It's the thought that counts, and really super appreciative of it. And thank you for all those. I'm not saying you all have to give. That's not what that's about. That's just, I'm just want to say thank you for everything, for watching, subscribing, sharing. Totally huge thanks. Right here. Okay, maybe get a couple more here. Why won't my PNG upload? You know what? I have had that issue with Rush on my phone. Like, I'll bring in a PNG that I exported from Photoshop or Illustrator or even from Spark and saved on the phone, and it just says media not supported. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is Adobe. You're supposed to support your own product. So my little workaround on the phone is I'll open the image and I'll take a screenshot, and then that one always works. So that's kind of like my little hack there, Aurora Peak creation. So hopefully that helps. If you literally saved my life, I use motion array, but I can't understand where it goes. Mila, I hope I said your name, Mila Savost. So I hope you were watching earlier. If not, whenever you are, that was a tricky thing for me too. That was like, where is it? So here's going back to graphics. So when I go to graphics, I was like forever looking for the graphic because I thought it was like a title. So I was going through here. I typed in like, let's see, ripped. Like, and nothing was coming up. Like, let me go rip. Like, wait a minute, I imported it. So it took me a good while to figure it out because I even read the directions from the individual or from the ones that I downloaded. I went everywhere, and then I was like, oh, let me click on saved. And then I was like, oh, like, here it goes. That's there. Boom, there it is. I've got some other ones that I've added here. Hasn't synced over yet. That's probably why they're kind of still not here. But I have other ones that I've loaded. But that's where it is. Mila, I hope that's answers your question. And all right, maybe I'll save this. See, do a couple here. I said a couple, and then I keep going. Let's do 2 more. A good tool. What advantages does it have if you compare it to Canva? So Canva is a competitor to Adobe Spark. So I'm a Spark ambassador. I'm going to be partial to Adobe Spark again as an ambassador. What is ambassador? So there's a group of individuals of us. There's several from all walks of life: creators, animators, photographers, graphic designers, crafters, myself, an educator, and we try to promote Adobe Spark. We use it ourselves and share ideas on how you can share your story using it. So I say all that as just kind of to let you know where I'm coming from. Now, I used to use Canva before I used Spark, and it was one of the tools I used before. I just didn't like now this was many years ago. The interface has obviously changed, and it was just, I didn't like the interface myself. Some of the things just didn't work, and at that time there was not an education version. It was just kind of like pro, and I just at the time couldn't afford to pay for it. So I just used the free versions, and I would add those. I would use those as templates and work on those. and it just didn't do as much as I wanted it to. Um, the templates were there, which are great. I try to create my own, so I don't always use templates. Even Spark has the templates. So, I'm not trying to knock on on a competitor. It's, if it works for you, great. One of the advantages I see of Adobe over Canva, you obviously have, if you have the Creative Cloud, you have access to all those assets, design assets in Adobe Spark. You have backgrounds in the library, so you can create your own libraries of content, of files, and assets to use, and easily and readily have them there available to use in your projects. You can probably import them into Canva, but they won't just be there. What's the word? Can't think of the word. Oh gosh. Being that it's in the same environment, Adobe. Oh God, the word is just slipping my mind. So it's not intuitive. Gosh, I can't think of the word. But again, it's just right there. It says Adobe. Everything is in there. I can easily access it. So that's kind of like I see an advantage. You got some web pages. You've got video. I use Adobe Spark Post more often than the other ones. Again, for graphics, all my thumbnails that I create on for YouTube, I create them in now are all created in Adobe Spark. I used to use Photoshop, much faster in Adobe Spark. I have a template already there. I can use it. So for me, that's the advantage because I live in that ecosystem. That's the word I wanted to use. Ecosystem. So the Adobe ecosystem. I'm a Mac guy, so I have Mac ecosystem. So same thing. It's just that ecosystem. It's all there for me. So that's my advantage because I do use the Creative Cloud. I take advantage of that and I use that. So that's what I like. That's the advantage. So hopefully, Bernard, hope that answers your question. Okay, last one. Anandu, I hope I said your name right. Can't open my project due to unable to open project prompt. Is there a way to get it back, or should I do all one, or should I do all the 1 week's work over again? Template. So it's kind of hard to tell. So I've had this happen to me before. So whenever you have a project and you're using the Creative Cloud, Adobe Rush on the computer, and then if you make it available, so you can actually just have it live on your computer, but if you turn on the sync to the cloud, it takes a while for those files, especially I shoot in 4K. So in Adobe Rush, I'm shooting in 4K. It takes a lot longer for those videos to upload because they have to upload to the cloud and then they have to load to, like if I open the project, if I sync it to my phone, it's going to take some time. So I don't always sync to the cloud with Rush projects. Usually I'm creating them. Some of them I create mainly on the phone. Some I create mainly on the computer. So I just have them living there and here. But whenever I need a project, usually what I'll do is I'll send the video files from my computer to phone so that I have them on the phone. The sync works. It's just like I need it to be faster. So that's kind of my workaround. So if you're seeing the unable to open project, man, it could be the file might have gotten corrupt. Maybe there's some missing video files. Maybe they're just misplaced depending on where you're using, if it's on the computer. So I would check. And if all else fails, I would definitely reach out to Rush. I would Google Adobe Rush support ticket. And then if you put in a ticket with the Adobe Rush support team, they'll be able to reach out to you and give you at least some steps on how to maybe recover that or why that happened, or kind of do some troubleshooting. They'll ask you like, hey, what version of computer are you using? They'll ask you, because I've done it before with like specifics on your computer and which version you're using, the video files, where they're at. And sometimes they'll have you look for like some sort of history, type this in and look for the history, and then you just send it to them and they kind of do research. So definitely reach out to them on Undo. So, all right. I'm going to switch back to the front camera here. And hey, this has been a lot of fun for me. I really enjoy. My passion is teaching. Like I mentioned, I've been teaching for 25 plus, I should say, I've been in education for 25 plus years, so it's in my nature to be a teacher and to help others. My family doesn't always appreciate that because I'm just the teacher in me wants to help others and teach others. So with my family, I have to be a little more strategic and say, "Do you want some help?" And then that's when I teach. But sometimes I teach when not asked to teach. So I enjoy doing this, and I hope you enjoy this as well. Let me go ahead and let me close this out and go back to full screen. There we go. Well, cool, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday evening. Sundays, I just kind of give you a little bit heads up, or I should say, a little history of, or a little behind the scenes kind of here. Sundays are usually the days I take to record my videos. Um, they are the days. Sometimes some Saturdays I'll throw in there, depending on the family's doing something and I got a little bit of time. I'll sneak in a little recording. Um, Sunday mornings are usually the days I record. I actually recorded my next YouTube video that comes out Tuesday. I did it this morning, and so I'll start to edit that a little bit later today and finish it up tomorrow. I have the day off tomorrow, so I'm actually going to go out and enjoy a little bit of the morning weather, and then got some stuff to do, and I'll probably get editing a little bit after that. But yeah, that's kind of what I do on Sundays. And hey, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. All of them are Claudio Zavala Jr. Let's see. Let's go. Let's throw that up there. That works right there. If you don't have to put the period, but Claudio Zavala Jr. Also, you can check out my website at iamclaudius.com. iamclaudius.com, and that's right there. You can find my YouTube channel. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll know where my channel is. Be sure to subscribe, like this video, and share it with others. That way they can also learn. And you know what I'm going to do is a quick check right here to see if everything was still okay. It's working. Yay. The other thing you heard was like the other video that was playing. So, hey, I, did this live on a Sunday evening, just on the fly. I'm trying to find the right day. I would actually prefer to do it during the day, but I do have a day gig. So I'm trying to kind of figure out how I can do it while at work. It may take some maneuvering there, but I'm going to see if I can do that because there's more people during the daytime. I don't know. And then there's people across the world that follow me on YouTube and watch my videos that are not awake at the same time. So I try to, do it so that's accessible to all. So, hey, Josue, Joshua, thank you. Awesome, man. I'm so happy for that. Hobbyist photographer, moving, creating a small business. Awesome. Congrats. Hey, it's what I did a few years back with prompting of some friends, education friends of mine, good friends of mine, and say, Claudia, you need to be doing this, share your stuff. It's good. I'll just say this for everyone out there. Don't listen to the negativity out there, the naysayers. You most likely you will make mistakes. You will fail. But you know what? You will learn from those mistakes, and you will get back on that horse, the proverbial horse, and get back on to do it. And you won't know until you try. And if you make a mistake, learn from it. And no one can share your story like you can. Your voice, your story is still yet to be told. So share that out because only you can tell it the best. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening or morning, wherever you're watching this. If you're watching this on replay, thank you so much. Again, please share. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video and share it with others.